Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 PS4 PSN review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Basement Crawl, and oh boy has this been a huge disappointment. It's got some good, but quite frankly it's got severe problems, and I really hope the dev actually steps up and A, fixes them, and B, kind of says, oh, here's a load of extra content, because so far for the price that you pay for the game, it's not worth it at all, in the slightest. It's probably the worst PSN game I've played for the PS4. It's probably up there with the awfulness that was Tiny Brains, which at least there was a demo of that, and I'm so glad there was a demo because it saved me some money. Whereas this, well, I can see why there wasn't a demo available when I bought it, that's for sure. Anyway, I'll get into all of this in a minute, I suppose. At the start, there's a cutscene that basically adds a load of story to the game, but then there's no story mode, and you can't even play it single player at all. There's no ability to put bots on. Local multiplayer is you and whoever the hell you've got with you at that time. One of the saving graces is that if you've got a group of 4 years playing the game, you can go online and play it. However, there's severe problems with the whole setup of the game, and I will get into that. Options wise, you can do very basic bare bone minimum. You can go sound effect, audio, and choose vibration on or off. You can then view your controls, but you can't change them, but you don't really need to be able to change them. You've got trophies, which there's a few, and there's not much there, and that's probably just as well because there's not much to the game. The instructions here basically tells you, well, again, the basics. It says every character has a unique ability, and one of them's got better health, one of them's got better stamina, one of them's got better traps, and one of them's got better range from the start. Other than that, they're all the same, and like, if, for example, the one with the better health, if you lose that bit of health, then you just go to being a regular character. It's not a permanent thing, you know, it's not a permanent ability. You've then got the different types of traps you can get, which, I might as well say this, the game is essentially a very bad rip-off of Bomberman, and I knew that going into it, that it was going to be like Bomberman, but I thought it was going to be so much better than it actually was. So they call them traps and everything, but really it's just bombs. So basically, you can plant bombs. Those are the types of bombs on the left that you can get. There's one that inflicts double damage, there's ones that are basically time bombs, there's ones that fire out a bomb, like they fire out a noxious green thing in different directions, and then there's mines, which are just like, well, I suppose they are the closest thing to what they're called, traps. Killing 4 people in a row gives you a kill streak. You can also kick and throw the bombs right from the start. You don't need to collect anything, unlike, for example, the Bomberman. Because I don't have anyone with me, I'm going to have to load an online game, which could take forever, so I'm just going to cut into some gameplay now, and then I'll actually get into explaining everything that you can or can't do with the game, and all of the problems that it does have. So, these are the 4 characters, and they all look nice and creepy and that, but once you choose one, that's pretty much the end of your customization or anything. There's nothing there to actually customize. All of the characters of that type look the same. There's not even a slight colour differentiation. So for example, if you are, and I really wish I was able to hit the share button yesterday, I was too busy being absolutely shattered because I'd been up all night and just trying to play the game with my mate, that I didn't even think of sharing the footage, which I now wish I had done, because no one is playing the game at all, it seems today, probably because they played it yesterday and realised just how bad it was. But anyway, this is probably perfect, because everyone has chose the same character here, and as you might be able to notice, there's nothing to show any differences. The only difference at this moment in time is 2 of them have a blue thing above their head and 2 of them have a red thing above their head, and that's because it's on a team battle mode. But it's terrible. Well, the fact that you can have 8 characters all playing as the exact same character and not know who the fucking hell which one is which. Because there's nothing you can push to particularly do anything. You can push the touchpad in to change the camera angle. You can use a shield ability, which doesn't seem to work online, because whenever me and my friend was trying it online, every time we used the shield, we instantly died, and we couldn't work out what the hell was going on with that, because in local it actually works. there's different things you can collect that allow you to hit, like, well, place more traps and to use more fire and that. As you might have probably noticed, the game suffers from severe lag online because you can get killed by bombs that are no longer there anymore, or you can walk through bombs and not have them kill you, like what's just happened there. All in all, the game is just absolutely awful. It has got some decent qualities to it. The different abilities and things things like that you can do, which basically they don't happen all of the time. You get a limited amount of them. You hit the square button to actually place one of your special or unique things, and once they run out, that's it, you've got to collect another one. Everything else is just a normal bomb, but the normal bombs don't take the place of them, if you know what I mean. So it's not a case of once you collect it, you've got 3 bombs and that's it, that you can then use and then they run out. It's a case of you've got 3 of that special type. With those ones, the green one, I collected it and I had 1 of that special type. So once I used it, I now have to go find another one. So it basically means that if someone's got time bombs, then they can't just spam the entire game with time bombs like they could on a Bomberman game. There's sections here which, to your eye, unfortunately, you won't notice it because gameplay-wise, it looks like it's playing fine. But I was walking along, and obviously the standard Bomberman affair is that you plant the bomb where a box is to destroy it. I was walking, I'm the one at the bottom, I'm walking here and I'm pressing to place them in between so that they'll actually destroy things, and the lag is so bad, it's actually placing them nowhere near where I want them to place. It's just a horrific experience, it really is. Getting a game online itself is awful because yesterday me and my mate loaded it up. We had to watch 2 people finish a game for about a minute and a half. Then it loaded the game up, made us wait 3 minutes while absolutely nothing happened, and it then randomly assigned someone as first place. They then leveled up because of that, even though the kill screen at the end came up, all 8 players had 0 kills and 0 deaths. Then it finally kicked us from the game and we had to load another game up where we could finally get on, and it was 8 people, and as I say, 5 of them were all the same character. I couldn't work out who the hell I actually was because there's just nothing to indicate it. The game is so cheaply and lazily and shoddily made, it's unbelievable, and the price they're charging, it's quite frankly highway robbery. It really is the sort of thing that if I'd known going into it just how badly made it was, I wouldn't have bought it. The dev really does need to step up and actually fix some of the many problems. I mean, just simply adding some form of colour differentiation or customization so you know who's playing as who online. Locally, you can all play as one of each of the different characters. You can just assign someone there and that's fine. But online, it's obviously not fine, as you've just seen there. And yep, loaded and immediately kicked. And it's just, so that would fix that. Then adding the ability to play with bots would also fix things. Adding some sort of single player ability to play with bots would also be great. But again, I just don't understand why they've made this cutscene and went to the detail, like in the time of making the cutscene, which almost seems like it's had more time and effort put into it than the actual game, to then not allow any form of single player or story mode or anything, even if they'd done a basic story mode. I mean, at the end of the day, Bomberman was a case of you'd go through 100 stages of slightly different maps and things and fight bosses and then get to the end, and there was never really any story to it. There's not even a load of modes or anything. You get deathmatch and team deathmatch and then the ability to random. So you get a random, which is a 50-50. You've then got stages. You've got 12 stages over 3 designs, which again, why couldn't we at least have 12 stages, each with a different and unique design, instead of 4 that take place in a slaughterhouse or something like that, 4 that take place in a clown zone. It's just the whole game, it really has been done very badly, very rushed and cheap, and it's just so annoying that this was one of the games that people were pegging up. I mean, I remember reading article after article saying that this was going to be one of the best indie PS4, PSN games to come out. It was something that people were going to play for ages and how it was going to just help it so much. And then all of a sudden it gets pushed back for no real reason. And I can only assume they were fixing some things, but what they've fixed I don't know, because if this is the fixed end result, then I really don't know how it could have been worse at the time. It's everything about it, as I see it, has been done really badly. Even to the point that when we first put it on, as you're seeing there in the options, it doesn't actually tell you what you collect to make your flame get bigger or to be able to plant more bombs. So for the first half an hour of the game, me and my mate were just sitting there and going, what the hell are we doing? I mean, what are we collecting here? And it took us ages to be able to finally figure it out, and we really got to slow down and stop actually competing and just try and work together as the only two people on the game, in order to actually know what the hell we were doing before we took it online. And I apologise for the video mainly being me in the menu screen, but it's not as if I haven't tried to actually connect to a game here. The online, the infrastructure is just horrific. The whole thing has been done really, really badly. And I can't slate it anymore, I don't think. This may have came off really rantish, and it hasn't meant to be, because, as I say, the potential's there. It's got so many good things about it. It's the unique principle of how they've done the power-ups, how they've tried to be different to the game that they've clearly tried to mimic, and they just fall flat in so many different areas. It really does feel like they've thought, you know what, let's try and get rich by putting in as minimal effort as we possibly can do, and it is such a shame. It really is. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.